to say that this young girl is from my hometown. And I'm proud again to say that the family is well known to me. I'm proud again to say that she attended the same high school as my 3 daughters. The second person, that the person who took the second position, is also from Anambra State. We're honoring them maybe on Monday next week. In addition, we're honoring 2 or 3 more people, namely the person who took the second position in the National Expo competition organized by the Federal Ministry of Science and Technology. He's from Anambra State, a student of British Secondary School here in Oka. The person who took the first position last year is also from Anambra State, although he's a student, or he was a student of Loyola Jesuit College in Abuja. And then the person who took the third position as school principal is the principal of GTC Onitsha. So this is just what has happened in the last couple of weeks and months. I want to tell you this. On Saturday, October 5th last year, Nigeria marked the World Teachers' Day. It was a celebration at Eagle Square in Abuja, sponsored by the presidency, by the Federal Ministry of Education, and the Nigerian Union of Teachers. There were 34 prizes. Most states did not get one single prize. The few states which got prizes, none of them got more than one. Anambra State received 4. The president donated 4 vehicles. Anambra State went home with 2 vehicles. The rest of the federation, 35 states, plus the Federal Capital Territory, had to compete for the remaining 2. I don't have to mention to you that Anambra State has produced the first school in African history to win a global competition on the use of the internet. And this was organized not just in the US, but in Silicon Valley, California, the source, home of ICT. And the girls from Regina Pachi's Model Secondary School in Onitsha took the first position, beating all the schools from different parts of the world: France, UK, Turkey, US, Germany. The record is there. We did it. And it's not the first time. I can go on and on. This is only in the area of education. In the area of agriculture,
okay, so,
I can give you more examples.
I wouldn't want to interrupt you, but we are still on education. We'll go into other fields, but still on education.
Yes.
Our listeners would like to know, these students achieved this education excellence. Is it as a result of their hard work, or how has the Governor Obiano's policies contributed to these successes we've mentioned?
Well, a combination of various factors. There are simple things that count in life. There is something Hegel, the German philosopher, wrote about extensively towards the end of the 19th century. I don't want to sound very academic, but in 1989, one of my favorite philosophers and intellectuals of contemporary times, Francis Fukuyama, called attention to these facts. He says there are 2 things that drive the motor of history. One of them is what I'm referring to here. That is the search for recognition. Once you recognize somebody what he has done, the person is motivated to achieve more. And as a result, history evolves. History develops fast. And the mere fact that you win, the state governor calls you, your family recognizes you, mortalizes you, that serves as a great incentive. It motivates. Nothing motivates like that. You know that Quentin began to dream of becoming America's president at the age of 12 when he met JFK, who was the American president. So the mere fact the governor goes out of his way to recognize teachers, administrators, pupils, students who excel. He has the policy of saying, if you have a first class, come, you are going to get an automatic scholarship. That is a lot. It's enough to incentivize Anambra people. What is important is that the Anambra people are competing so beautifully, not only at home, everywhere we are in the world, we are competing, and we are very, very proud of that fact. One of the greatest medical scientists in the world today is from Enugu, in Njikoka local government area. Omalo, Dr. Bennett Omalo, he's in America. We are celebrating here in Anambra State. Just last month, Harvard University announced 12 fellows. One of them is Patrick Okibo from Anambra State, who, like me, is a member of the Anambra Television 2070 committee. The essence of this committee is to make Anambra State become a fully developed place like Dubai, like Taiwan, in 50 years' time, by the year 2070. And this committee is headed by Professor Charles Soludo, who, of course, as expected, is doing a fantastic job. Now, the person who got the fellowship from Harvard is Patrick Okibo. We are celebrating him. The same week he was announced, somebody from Anambra State became the overall best student in the oldest and most prestigious medical school in Russia. The first time an African has got that position. His name is Dr. Chidubem Obi, and we are celebrating him. So this is extremely important. Recognizing your people, do not care about any difference, work as a team, work as one people, motivate them. As a result, where you have the people of Anambra State, no matter where they are in the world, they work so hard, knowing they have a government and people and a state that are very, very proud of them. That's an extremely important consideration.
Yes, thank you very much for this explanation. Another thing I get from what you have just said is that Anambra State is full of talented people. Anambra State also have a lot of billionaires. Anambra State has a lot of educated people. Anambra State has a lot of powerful politicians. Anambra State has a lot of powerful people. Now, my next question is this a challenge? How has this made it more difficult? Okay, has it made Anambra a difficult state to govern? Or has it made Anambra an easy state to govern? From your association with what Obiano have been doing? Sorry, our listeners, it appears our guest is had a sudden problem. He's trying to get back, and then we'll continue with the discussion. Let me ask him to unmute. He's back now. It's just for him to unmute, and then we'll continue the discussion. Yeah, can you please unmute yourself? I'm asking you to just unmute yourself.
Yeah, let me see.
Very good. Is it? Yeah, if you can just unmute yourself. You're still on mute.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm also hearing
I can hear you.
Okay. Right. Go on, sir. You are back. Go on.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't. The last thing I heard you say that Anambra has a lot of billionaires.
Oh, okay.
Please, I can get the question.
Okay.
Did you hear me well?
Okay. Yeah. My question is, what I gather from your last statement is that Anambra has a lot of intellectuals. Anambra has a lot of people who are talented. Anambra has people who have excelled in their individual endeavors. Some people will also say that, in fact, I read Bloomberg's report that Anambra has the largest concentration of billionaires in Africa. Now, my question is, has that made Anambra State a difficult state to govern, or has that made Anambra an easy state to govern?
Well, I wouldn't say easy, but it's certainly not difficult. One great problem we have in the whole of Africa is that there is big trust deficits in terms of the relationship between the leaders and the followers. I must be honest with you, in the case of Anambra, we don't have that problem. The people trust us, and they have no reason not to trust us.
Yes.
That we regard the large number of billionaires and millionaires we have in Anambra State as a blessing. That have been a great blessing to us. We are so proud of the billionaires in Anambra State, many of them self-made, with a good percentage coming from Newi. We are very, very proud of Newi people. Newi town gave us the Grace and Louis Ojukwu, a self-made millionaire, and probably a greatest millionaire, gave us the great Ikemba, Newi, gave us somebody like Cosmas, Madoka, Innocent. The vehicles we use from Innocent. This is a self-made man, brought himself up by the bootstraps. Look at Cosmas Madoka, better known as Coscharis, another fantastic guy. If this guy had gone to school, he would have been a genius, no doubt about that. Now, let me tell you, I give you an example of how we have benefited from the numerous billionaires from Anambra State. Just an appeal, invest in Anambra State. Cosmas Madoka built, he has the biggest farm in the whole state, almost the whole town at Anambra. And in the same town, another great Newi person, my own in-law, Augustine Ilodibe, built his farm, but he's died. There have been issues. But see what Kocharis did. Not only building the farm, now built a fantastic rice mill, this time in Ibariam, Anambra East local government area. This rice mill was commissioned on Wednesday, October 2nd last year by 3 distinguished Nigerians: the governor of Anambra State, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, and the governor of Kebbi State, as well as the Minister of State for Industries. You ask yourself, why did Kebbi governor come? Very simple. You know, a lot of people in Lagos eat lake rice, beautiful brand. Lake rice, the word lake, L-A-K-E, is derived from a combination of 2 words. L-A for Lagos, K-E for Kebbi. The rice is produced in Kebbi State, consumed in Lagos, but guess what? Processed in Anambra State. By Stein Rice Mill in Amici, Newi South local government area, a very young man. So we play a critical role in the rice value chain in Nigeria. So when Kocharis was about to open his own, the governor of Kebbi State came to see if we can process more for him and the people of Lagos State. So when the people of Lagos State eat their lake rice, let them be grateful that the people of Anambra State are assisting them to feed the nation. We are very proud of that fact. So we benefit so much. We buy our vehicles from Innocent. We also buy from Kocharis, his Ford vehicles, very good. So we benefit from the fact there are a lot of billionaires from Anambra State, many of them self-made, most of them doing legitimate business, many of them very conscious of their state, helping the state, trusting the government and the people of Anambra State to become the most competitive state in Nigeria today in various fields. I tell you something. On August 1st last year, there was the result of the national competition for states that promotes small and medium enterprises. There were 4 finalists, namely Kaduna State, whose governor was there, Abia State, Lagos State, and of course Anambra State. At the end of the of course, Anambra State. This was a state house with the vice president of the Federal Republic presiding. Other governors were there, but the governor of Anambra was not there. The deputy was not there. Only our secretary government went. We took the first position. It is difficult to find a competition where Anambra takes the second position. In immunization, we are number one in the whole country. 2 years ago, we shared a first position with Lagos. Last year, we said, Lagos, please get to your level. So Anambra is today number one in the whole country. The World Bank, in September 2018, declared Anambra State the greatest and best implementer of World Bank assisted projects in the whole of the Southeast and the South-South. This is an official declaration. The result is there. Can I remind you, please, that between February 21st and February 27th last year, there was a national competition, global competition held in Tunisia for students in the area of STEM, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Nigeria was represented by St. John's Secondary School, Alo. It took the third position. So we now have represented Nigeria in South Korea, in Germany, we took the third position. So no state has this record. It was not always like this. We can go into other fields. So when I say we are the most competitive state in the whole country, I know what I'm talking about. I don't want to talk about security. You know what the situation was the day of Anambra State before Obiano came. When last we hear of a kidnap in Anambra State? I will proudly tell you this, that Anambra State assists other states to fight crime, especially kidnapping. And I will mention names. Last November, 2 Catholic priests from Adinuba in Anyocha local government area went to those states to wed a parishioner living there. They were kidnapped. The kidnappers were proving tough. Governor Willie Obiano was contacted right here at the lodge because we have the most sophisticated, the most advanced equipment to fight crime in the whole country. We sent our boys from government house. They went into on those states, liberated the 2 priests, brought them to the governor here. This was last November. And this governor refused me from disclosing these facts. It was the Catholic Bishop of Oka who told the whole world this thing. Please see what the governor has done for us. I tell you something, Enugu State, Kogi State, for some reason, different priests, different laws have been kidnapped. We will send people from here to do Operation Kogi, kill the bandits, bring back our people here. Assisted in Enugu State, sent in Enugu State, sent it in Kogi. So when the job is tough, we stay here, we send our boys, we use the equipment, we pick them up.
So who are those boys you are sending? Are they policemen or are they?
Policemen, SSS.
Okay.
Policemen, SSS, specially trained with our equipment. Don't forget that on October 7th last year, we launched the most sophisticated security equipment in the whole of Africa. One of the best in the world, direct from MIT. It was shown live here. So kidnapping Anambra State, I'm going to give you less than 12 hours, no matter where you are, we grab you. You don't have to kidnap. You don't have to cut that. Try it. I said, try it. I'm giving a challenge to any kidnapper.
I was about to ask this question.
The last time we had a kidnapping case,
yes, go ahead.
Incidentally involved a Reverend Father in Anambra West. It was on December 24th, 2019. In less than 6 hours, we rescued the priests and, of course, took care of the bad boys. So you dare not do silly things in Anambra State. Can I tell you this? Yes. Anambra State is the only state throughout Nigeria that for the last 6 years has not experienced one single bank robbery. Not one single bank robbery. For the past 6 years, you can go and verify. You're a journalist. If you try bank robbery in Anambra, I will grab you. You do not do it. You know what it was before? How armed robbers were coming, sometimes as far as River State, moved to my own hometown here. Kill people, they will take all the money and run back to River State. And the police in Anambra will be looking for them in Anambra, with their knowing they came all the way from Rivers. Because Anambra shares boundary with River State. Most people don't know that fact. But today, it can happen.
So why was the Anambra State? How was the Anambra State governor able to do that? Because of course, I am aware the state of criminality in the state so many years ago, the state of kidnapping so many years ago. What enabled Anambra State to? In fact, someone told me just yesterday there was a story I reported about that some people abducted the son of a traditional ruler in Inumudi. And so when I reported it in Umudi, the person immediately called me and said, Daniel, that can never happen. That there's no more kidnapping in Anambra State. So I'm asking, how was the governor able to do that? How was the governor able to?
Okay, let me tell you what happened 2 nights ago in their hometown in Umudi, where the great Ikemba came from. Cultists. There, even in my hometown, Anambra, I mean here. We got the reports, we monitored, we found the reports authentic, we moved in. The Nigerian police can work, give them incentives. The allowances to get in Anambra, they can't get elsewhere. If you transfer a policeman in Anambra, he will do everything possible to come back. And I am not talking of sergeants or non-commissioned officers. There is an AIG who just retired. He retired last week. AIG Makama from Plateau. He was a deputy commissioner here, became a commissioner. He proudly tells everybody, I'm from Anambra State. Don't ever say I'm not from Anambra State. He is so proud of what we do here. I'm talking about the AIG of police who retired last week, and I'm mentioning names. Look at, just in February, we had the 12th police games. The IG was here and said it's the best ever in the history of police games. Anambra. So what do? We take our words seriously. I've told you the people have confidence in us. If you are planning to do something silly, our security men will inform us before it happens. You hear of herdsmen killing people, terrorizing them in some states. That's in Anambra. Because the proactiveness of the governor says it, he means it, he brings out money for this purpose, and the thing is used exactly for the purpose for which the money was brought out in the first place. Don't forget, ours is the only state in Nigeria's history to have called the EFCC voluntarily come and investigate us. This was in March 2018. And the EFCC chairman came here physically and said he never knew it's possible in his lifetime to see a sitting governor inviting the EFCC leadership to come and see what we are doing. After which, gave him, everybody, a clean bill of health.
Thank you very much.
The little money we have, we utilize.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let me at this juncture inform our listeners that if you have any question from now on, you can indicate by raising up your hand using the device. We have a device for raising up hand in the Zoom. Now, let me ask the next question. The governor, when he assumed office, I was there at the swearing in ceremony of the governor when in his first term. Okay. One of the promises the governor made in his first term is to build a cargo airport in Aguleri. How far has that? How far has that project gone?
Well, I've seen some leaks in the press. I will advise you as my brother and friend and professional colleague. let me not discuss that matter. By November, we are going to give the whole world a surprise. Please.
November this year. November this year.
I say, please, by November, we are in July. We come to the end of July. I don't want to discuss this matter. Just have a little patience.
Okay.
We are going to do the airports, the Anambra way of doing things. That is to say, not just international, but global standards. We see it. We have given the whole country the most peaceful states. When people say Anambra is the safest state in Nigeria, that's correct. But the level of social solidarity, the level of social harmony found in these states, you don't find elsewhere. We have had 2 major elections in the last 3 years. Did you hear of any violence, any kind of kidnapping? It did not happen. For the first time in the history of Anambra State, people who lost the elections wrote with the governor congratulating him. Before, Anambra politicians would go as far as the ECOWAS Court of Justice to fight. Today it doesn't happen. And the very day the governor was inaugurated, the very candidates who ran against him were there in flesh and blood, people from all the parties. This is a very, very important legacy. So what we are doing in Anambra State is not just building structures. It's not just a matter of bricks and mortar. Of course, we excel in bricks and mortar. We are delivering the airports. That's one I've asked you, please. Let's talk about that. Okay? Seeing is believing. We are building the biggest international conference in the whole of Africa. 10,000 seating capacity. We are the only state in this country that pays salary before the end of the month. Today is 23rd December. I can assure you, do your verifications, COVID or no COVID, bad economy or no bad economy, by tomorrow, which is start today, latest Sunday, every pensioner in Anambra State will get his money, every worker will get his money, every political appointee. Not one person will be left behind. We pay before any other states. We can proudly tell you we are the only state that we say we do not owe one single pensioner by 1 hour. You are from this state, go basis. We have not borrowed 1 kobo. When I hear stories, people say, oh, and I laugh, even in your well-respected medium. And I laugh. Which bank have we borrowed from?
Hello?
Yeah, hello, Nicholas. Just hold on a moment. I think our guest is offline again. Let's wait for him to come back and then you can ask your question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I think he's back. Let me ask him to unmute.
Yeah,
and then...
I'm back.
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, by the way, can I tell you that Anambra's economy is now the 4th largest? That if Anambra were a country, our economy would be bigger than that of Cote d'Ivoire, will be bigger than that of Ghana, bigger than that of Congo, and so on and so forth. I hope you know about it. We are going. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So yes, I get the contribution. I think let's take a question from one of our listeners now, Mr. Nicholas. Oh, is he still there? He raised up his hand. I think he's muted himself again.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Nicholas, I can hear you. Please ask your question.
Honorable Commissioner, the figures you just mentioned kept me thinking. Recently, I looked at the internally generated revenue from states, and we have states like Kwara State leading Anambra State in IGR. You know, so I'm a bit confused. What's wrong with the figure?
Sorry,
Hello?
okay, can I answer your question now? Can I answer?
Yeah, please.
Okay, I don't know the figures you got, but there was a set of figures wrongly published by the Bureau of Statistics. I don't know if you're referring to that one, but please,
Exactly. That's the figure.
IGR, we have done so much, but there is still room for improvement. By the time we came in, our IGR was at between 400 and 500 million naira a month. It has been rising since then. What we did last year was 26 billion. That is for the month of 26 billion from 400 to 500 million a month. So we are now doing an average of 1.2 billion a month from 400 to 500. But there is still room for improvement. There are too many leakages in the system. There are a lot of people who print all manner of stuff, stopping harassing people, collecting money, pretending to be government agents. We don't know anything about them.
That is what on this point, sir. Can you please? Can you please explain more this point? I was thinking of asking this question before the end of this program. A lot of people are complaining. A lot of people are complaining about touts people who claim to be coming from Anambra state government, taking money from the people, printing receipts and collecting money. What is the state government doing about that issue?
I'm happy. We are picking them up one by one. In fact, if you come to my office, in front of my office right now, you have two vehicles, boldly written and painted, Willie's Workforce Office, Government House, Oka. We confiscated these vehicles from fraudsters. The governor never knew about them. There is no way you can create a government agency and you name it after the governor, Willie's Task Force. It's not possible. It doesn't make sense. We are not aware, and we are there in Onitsha, Ogidi, Mpo, Obosi, taking so much money. People did not report, so people thought they were actually a government agency, painted, branded in government colors, with the address conspicuously written, Government House, Office of Executive Governor. Two vehicles, I say right now in my office, right on the ground floor. I wish I were in my office, I would just go there and show you the pictures. So we are working, but these people are terrible. I want to be called cabals, but we are fighting them. The people are cooperating with us. But they use force to threaten people. If you disclose the information, we come after you. You know, the normal psychological warfare. It's a pity. We apologize to the people of Anambra State. The people of Anambra do not deserve this kind of harassment. No. This kind of harassment scares away investors. And we don't want that. We want to be the first state investors who consider for investment in this country. And we take that statement seriously. When we harass people, that means there is no ease of doing business in the States. No, we don't want that. So we apologize once again.
Okay, thank you very much. Nicholas, do you have a follow-up question, or are you okay?
Well, I think that will be okay for now.
Okay.
That will be okay for now.
Okay. Honorable Commissioner, I received a question from a listener about, well, recently we've been hearing reports about, how do I put it, exchange of words between Chief Arthur Eze and the government of Anambra State. Are you willing to shed light on this relationship between Arthur Eze and the Governor Obiano? What is going on, sir?
I will tell you the truth, nothing but the truth. I think one or two persons misled Arthur Eze, our worthy son. He regretted his action. I don't have the concept of the governor, but let me say this. 2 mornings ago, after they called the governor and apologized. Okay? That's number one. Number two, we want our people to invest in our states. Arthur has a lot of money. He didn't make the money from our states. We would like him to invest the way Innocent has done, the way Coach Charles has done. Coach Charles is not based in Anambra, but is invested in the States, and we are very proud of that fact. Of course, there are a lot of people who are based in Anambra who are investing. My great friend, Ajulo Uzodike, fantastic guy. I'm happy he's based in Nnewi, and his company is the only one quoted on the stock exchange.
Wow.
You don't have to go to Lagos, Abuja, or Port Harcourt. First class engineer with an MBA from Harvard, based in Nnewi, producing in Nnewi, and his products are the best in the whole country. That is his cables, and the most expensive. And I must tell you the truth, my dear brothers. The prices it commands, they're deserving of them. And so I'm not surprised this company is doing very well on the stock exchange. This is the kind of thing we want. After Eze is older, it will be a great thing if our great friend after Eze can even learn from these people I've mentioned who are younger than he and invest in the state. He is 70 plus. So this is my personal advice. It's not advice of the governor of Anambra State. This is my humble opinion.
Thank you very much, sir. When you started this program, you asked after our editor-in-chief, Timothy Elombah. He wants to ask you a question now. He indicated
Yes.
the office, and so let me. Where is Timothy? Okay, yeah. 1 second.
Can I go on?
Yes, ask your question, please.
Thank you very much. Good evening, guests, our Honorable Commissioner. It's nice meeting you here. We've been working together with you for years now, even though we've not had the opportunity to meet one-on-one. Now, please, I need a clarification here. Last year, the Debt Management Office released a report that Anambra State has a cumulative debt of 60 billion naira. By this year, the reports I get is that it's over 100 billion. In fact, one report I got recently, though I cannot confirm the veracity of that report, is that Anambra is owing almost 200 billion naira. Please, Honorable Commissioner, we need your clarification here. First, is Anambra State owing? Secondly, how much does the state owe? That is verifiable data, I must say.
Well, thank you. Let me start on a personal note. I'm grateful to the Elombah brothers for the assistance I've got from me over the years. I very much appreciate that. Secondly, I must confess my admiration. Fine brothers working together on a picture of some hope that we can actually run joint businesses in our state and beyond and do very well in it. Having said that, I must confess I do not have the statistics. If you had told me a few minutes ago, I would have given you the latest figures. But many of these things you see here, as you have already hinted, they are not credible. Just last year, the National Bureau of Statistics published the names of states owing. Anambra and 2 states in the north were the lists. They were the lists. Anambra is the only state taken from the south. In fact, the Punch newspaper did a beautiful editorial on it and excellent analysis. So when I hear some of these figures, I laugh. But if you give me a few minutes when I leave this, maybe next time you call me, I'll quickly go through my own figures and then call the people in the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Economic Planning. So we compare figures. I want to give you authentic figures. You know, these things change. But having said that, I must say that being indebted is not really bad. Let's face it. The question is, what do you do with the money you borrow. Lagos State owes a lot, but Lagos State is fantastically economically viable. So you cannot declare Lagos State an economic failure. No, that can happen. It has the money and they can manage it well. Lagos State is an excellent state. So our governor is not just a banker. He's an accountant, he's an auditor. And I want you to take a look at the people he has, just a few of them. We have in our government. The deputy governor is an engineer with a PhD in economics. The secretary of the state government is an internationally recognized professor of economics who was teaching in Birmingham, had to come back to Anambra State to work. The commissioner for finance was executive director in UBA with a first-class degree in accountancy. The commissioner for local government was MD of a bank. Even the commissioner in charge of science and technology and higher education was an ED in a bank. The point of it is very simple. You have an administration studied with economics and other development experts. In Anambra State, our preoccupation is not politics. It is about development, because we are following the examples of South Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. These are what you call developmental states. That is to say, states that decided that within one generation, within 30 years, we are going to leapfrog from our third world status to first world status. In other words, we are going to leave our status as developing nations and territories and get to the level of America, France, Germany, US, UK. And they succeeded. At least Singapore, Taiwan, South Korea, and Hong Kong have attained the status of first world. Malaysia in 1991 developed Vision 2020, by which they meant by the year 2020, Malaysia will be at the level of these countries I've mentioned. Now, they have succeeded maybe 90%, which is a wonderful leap. That is why in Anambra, we have one vision 2070, meaning 50 years from today, where will Anambra be? We want to be like Hong Kong, we want to be like Taiwan, we want to be like Dubai. And we're working hard on it. And that is why you can't have a better person than Charles Soludo, the former central bank governor, a brilliant economist and extraordinarily hardworking person, who, in my humble opinion, is just a genius. I do not use words generously, but Charles Soludo is actually a genius. So he's the person leading it. I'm a proud member of that committee.
Thank you very much.
Our concern is
I'm sorry to
get Anambra to leapfrog.
I'm sorry to interrupt because our time is almost we are almost getting to the end of the program. So let me.
I hope you can give us some more minutes, please. No, we lost some time.
Okay, yeah, okay. There are two questions burning in my mind now. One, when the previous governor who handed over to Governor Obiano, that was Mr. P2B, was handing over in was it April 2000 and
March 17th.
Okay, March 2017. Okay, he
handed over.
Okay, yeah, P2B said
2014.
Okay, P2B said he left a savings of about 78 billion naira for the incoming government. He also left some investments in bonds and investments in foreign exchange when he was handing over to Governor Obiano. First of all, do you agree that is the case? And then if that is the case, what is Governor Obiano handing over to his successor? Will it be savings or infrastructure or debt? What do you think, sir? The two questions.
Well, I sincerely wish I have been saved this question. P2B is a very nice person, my good friend, and he did well as governor of Anambra State. We give him credit for that. But I have seen a lot of statements. I want to believe were not authorized by him. You see, the figures keep on changing. You mentioned 78, somebody will sell 75. The other time, I saw 65. When figures keep on changing like that, you know, something is amiss. And at the same time, not just when you say, oh, where are the figures? Let's see. Say, well, not just raw cash, not just say both savings and cash. So it's qualified consistently. So we laugh. Please, these are facts I want us to look at. For 8 years, P2B did brilliantly as our governor. He did not hire one person, not one civil servant, not one teacher. As he was going, he left in March. By January, he had 8,000 civil servants and teachers. By the time he left in March, they had not received a kobo. And you know, in both federal and state, it takes 3 months after you have been hired to get your first salary. So the very month Obiano took over, he was saddled with the burden of paying 8,000 people that were hired. Number 2, P2B was doing a number of roads, about 102 of them by the time he left. Sometimes when you hear propaganda say, oh, yeah, bless, you just laugh because you and I know it's not practicable. No government pays 100% in advance, please. No government I'm aware of in Nigeria, and maybe in any other part of the world. How you pay for government projects is, if it's a road of, let's say, 5 kilometers, you have milestones. You do 1 kilometer, you generate the certificates, you take it to the Ministry of Works, then finance is verified, you are paid. Then you do another 1 kilometer, you are paid. But somebody makes a claim, he has paid for all the 102 roads in advance. That is taking propaganda too far. And beyond the roads, there are a lot of projects P2B began. Some of them at only 5% completed stage, which this governor finished. One of them is Agulu Lake Hotel, a fantastic hotel. If you have not been there, please I advise you to go there and make sure you go with your wives and families. They will thank you for doing it. One of the most beautiful hotels you can get anywhere. It was at 5% completed stage. It's located in Agulu, in the hometown of our former governor, P2B. This governor took it, completed it in record time. And that is something, by the way, I want to talk about because something that is of deep concern to me. When Governor Obiano took over, he introduced a policy he called 4 C's. 4 C's meaning 4, continue. Second C, completes. Third C, commission. The 4th and final C, commence. That is to say, complete the projects you inherited from your predecessor. When you finish, start your own. This is, I must be honest with you, you can really find this in anywhere in Africa. Because once your president takes over, he begins to do things to undermine you so that you don't have a place in history. And I'm sorry to say this, and my governor may not like me for saying this. Let's take a look at Lagos. I've been living in Lagos all my adult life, my working life. The same party, Akinwumi and Bode took over. And the major projects by his predecessor were all abandoned, including from Lagos to Badagry, 12 lanes. If had completed, would have solved the problem of going to Benin Republic. Abandoned completely, and people suffered for years. Look at the railway projects connecting the high areas with the highest population density of Lagos, abandoned completely. People who belong to the same party. Look at even waste collection and disposal throughout every contract inherited from your predecessor and began with his own that turned out to be a failure. I can go on and on. All this is conspired to make former governors of the state come out to say it must go. That is something called continuity. Do this thing for the benefit of the people of Lagos State. In Anambra, we continued with everything. I said everything begun by Peter Obi. Even when Peter Obi, my very good friend and who did well as governor here, left for the PDP. Anambra is different. So we are proud. This is the kind of social environment we have created. At the beginning of this program, I spoke about the level of social harmony in Anambra State. We don't believe in disunity. You make progress only when it comes together. You see each person as your brother or your sister. I'm happy our mutual friend, after they said something, only to reverse himself. It was to call the governor. The governor didn't call him. And things are okay. This is the only way Anambra can make progress. When we see each other as a brother and friend, not as an opponent. People in government don't have greater power, greater respect, or greater claim to be Anambra people more than those who are not in government. Whether you are in ABGA or PDP, APC, any other party, is absolutely irrelevant. It's one state.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I don't know whether any other person has question. Timothy, are you still raising up your hand, or it is the previous one? So I lower your hand.
Well, it is the previous one, but I still wish to. What I wanted to add up is part of the question you've already asked. What made me to ask the question about the debt is because there has been much controversy, especially surrounding the money former Governor Peter Obi left behind. And then, personally, I have interviewed Peter Obi, the former governor of Anambra. Yeah. I have personally interviewed him, and he personally confessed to me, confirmed rather, to me that he left that amount behind. In fact, he said the total was 100 billion. But 75 we are in cash and other stuff, while the rest we are in
well, the figures keep on changing. Please, sorry to interrupt here. You see, some of these investments were actually investments. Some of them I was a witness to, some of them I didn't see. Including investments in Niger State made by the Eastern Nigerian governments. Niger State has stopped working decades ago. They were all counted as money being left behind. Investments in Orient Petroleum made by former Governor Adinuba. Investments in Orient Petroleum, I'm aware I was a witness the day Ngige invested 100 billion. Developed 100 billion about 15 years ago. Ngige made that investment. My presence is my very good friend. And these are the things now being said, oh, what I handed over. You see, as I've told you, I do not want to discuss this matter because there's something when you say, you begin to ask. I've told you when people say, you did not hire anybody, we are leaving, hire so many people. Where would the money to pay them come from? When you handed over 102 roads, a lot of other projects like the hotels in your hometown, and somebody tells you you have been paid for in advance, and all you did was 5% completion. But anybody who pays, if you have done 5% pay for 100, that person must be arrested, tried, and jailed. You and I know it's not possible. Please, let's not pursue something that would expose some people to radical. Sometimes we carry propaganda too far. You know, that's something called stretch. I mean, it's not only stretch, it's over stretch. It's not important. I'm being very frank with you.
Okay, my last question to you, Honorable Commissioner, tonight will be: next year, Anambra State will be going to an election. Who will you want to see succeeding? I would have said who will Governor Obiano want, but I'm hoping that one day we will be able to interview the governor himself. So let me reserve that question to the governor. But let me ask you, sir, who will you want to succeed Governor Obiano as the next governor of Anambra State?
Whoever the people of Anambra State decide. But my dear brother, certain things do not require ordinary to know. Because of the record of this administration, the first time in the history of Anambra State, a party won overwhelmingly in each of the 21 local government areas of the states. Have the same election tomorrow, have it next year, it will repeat itself. There are parties who merely exist on the social media. There are some parties, all they do is hire some unemployed school leavers, pay them 20,000 naira a month, and tell them all they do in the morning is, oh, say blah, 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 we are not this, we are not this, that. We all know this. But when you go in the streets of Anambra State, when you go to your hometown, you see people wearing Abia clothes as a badge of honor, wearing Obiano's portraits. These are not politicians. They are not employees of the state government. This is something they do as a mark of honor. So, if you take a look at what we've done, let's face it, is there any state that has shown the kind of imagination we have displayed in tackling COVID-19? Tell me. People ask, why are your numbers still low? I said the numbers are bound to be low. If other states in this country, if the federal government of Nigeria had begun fighting COVID when Anambra State began, we would have been on this level. Anambra State began on January 28th this year. 1 month after COVID was reported in China, Anambra State began. I would advise you or any person watching this program to please Google Anambra advises citizens against going to China. Just type it and see. We began on January 28th. We went to all the 63 major markets in the state. We went to all the motor garages. We went to all the hotels. I was involved, preaching to people. Our people trusted us. They believed in us.
Now that you have mentioned this, what is the current figure of positive COVID-19 positive persons in Anambra State? Do you have any statistics?
I don't have the latest. Oh yeah, if I give you just 2 minutes, I'll tell you the figures as of 2 days ago, because I got the figures as of yesterday. I'm a member of the task force, so we monitor and I take these figures seriously. What we have had so far are 12 casualties, that is 12 deaths. And none of those deaths actually could be ascribed to us. I may put it this way. These were people that came to us when they were practically dead. I am very, very proud of our medical doctors, for the entire medical teams. No case has been brought to us that we did not treat successfully. Not one.
Does Anambra have a diagnosis? Does Anambra State have a diagnosis center now?
We don't have only just one. The latest we have, we are the only state in the southeast that has a mega lab. Mega lab, that is to say, capable of testing 470 samples per unit, and we have 5 units. That's what I was called a mega lab. We are the only state in the whole country, and I want to quote me, that uses Abbott laboratories, the #1 in the whole world. The rest from the US. Only after we started, that Benue State and Akwa Ibom decided to buy their own, so they are quick behind us. Not even almighty Lagos has Abbott laboratories. We have the very best in the whole world for our people. And we are very proud of it. We are capable of testing 470 multiplied by 5 in a day. That's the record we have. And we don't forget, we are the first and only state in this country to have started telling people what to do. To eat rice, vegetables, vitamin C, calcium, zinc. If you take these things, if you are tied by COVID-19, your body system will hit back. So, no, what we have, where we do our things in the Anambra way. Even the WHO emphasizes management. Our own case go beyond management. We are the only state in the whole country that has a task force in each of our wards. And there are 326 wards in Anambra State. No other state in this country has that record. So we preach. Lagos State has, for example, a task force in each of the local government areas. We have in each of the local government areas, and we have it in each of the wards. We have gone beyond that. We have 2 persons who have trained in each ward to test people, to collect the samples and bring to the teaching hospital here. And whatever we do here is completely free. Our people trust us. That is why we've been able to check community transmission. The second case we had, don't forget, it was somebody who living in Amobia, although not original indigenous of Anambra State, went to Kano, contracted it, came back. Neighbors go to them and informed us. We moved, tested him and tested the wife. He was positive. We treated him successfully. And don't forget, Anambra State is the only place in the whole world, mark my word, we are the only place in the whole world that has a record of reverting the status of a COVID-19 patient from positive to negative in 4 days. In 4 days, we did it. And I'm proud to say that on Saturday, April 17th, the DGO of NCDC, together with WHO officials, came to Anambra to see what we did. After inspecting these people, their words were, to quote them, "You have truly amazing professionals in Anambra State." Unquote. I don't think any other state in this country has that record. And Anambra State is the first state to build an isolation center. Even though in Anambra we don't call it isolation center, we call it protective care center, because the word isolation will seem to dispirit a patient with COVID-19. So we call it protective care center. We are the first state in this country to build, let's use the word isolation center, to meet WHO standards. That's okay. The 58-bed facility at General Hospital on Onitsha. I want you to go there. It's better than most hotels in this country. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. It's been a very wonderful.
So I say, if any state has our record, let the state, let's see it.
Thank you very much.
Has this record. So please, let me say this. Despite having 63 major markets in the states, always over-congested with people from different parts of not only Nigeria, but West Africa and Central Africa, Anambra has a very low number of infections of COVID because we began very, very early, as early as January 28th. So this is our record. We foresaw this thing. We knew that it's cheaper to prevent than to treat. So we began with prevention. We are the only government to have sent members of ESCO to every market to talk to the people, to every hotel, and to every motor park. We talk to our people, they listen to us, they believe in us, they trust us.
Thank you very much, sir. We will also acknowledge that it will not be, it will have been very difficult in a state where you have the Onitsha main market, Women market, Obosi market, and then Oka market, to have this level of coronavirus infections, people start to question whether what may have contributed to the factor. But let us have that topic. Let us have that topic for another day. We've had a very, very interesting, more than 1 hour discussion now. We are very, very happy to have you here, and we thank you very much for making our time out of your very busy schedule to speak to our listeners and our viewers on social media and everywhere, and to our reporters as well on this issue of importance to Anambra State indigenes. We are happy to have you here once again. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. You're actually helping me to do my job. So you actually do all the job. I take all the credits, and that's beautiful. And I'm happy we are working for a state that you are very proud of. There is no scandal in this state in the last 6 years. No scandal of any sort. Anytime a result is published dealing with competition, we are likely to be number 1. If we miss it, number 2. No other state has that record. To the extent that we have the least number of examination malpractices all over Nigeria. Yeah, cross-check. Go to WAEC, go to NECO, go to JAM. The least number of malpractices, and yet we have the best results. So we are building the most competitive state in the whole country. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, team. Thanks to all the members of this great team. I'm so proud of you folks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. And we look forward to having you on another occasion as your busy schedule permits. Thank you.
Anytime you want it, I'm all for you.
And we also thank our listeners. And we also thank all our guests and listeners who logged in tonight to listen, and all those who are following the conversations on Facebook and on YouTube as well. We thank you all and look forward to having you again next time. Thank you and good evening.
Thank you and good evening, everybody.
I don't know.